Oral histories offer us a deep and very personal understanding of local history. Hearing the stories of our fellow community members reminds us that we all share a common humanity. Part of the tapestry of tales we've begun to weave are the stories of those with a long history in Issaquah Valley. Narrators generously shared with us some of the highlights of human experience, like love and loss, winning a fight, finding your voice, finding your path, and starting fresh. And while they spoke a lot about the past, narrators also shared their thoughts, hopes, and observations for Issaquah's future. We're grateful to our community narrators for sharing themselves with us. We look forward to meeting new narrators in the coming year.
I was the first class to open Clark Elementary in second grade. It was brand new school. And then the neat thing is my daughters both went to Clark Elementary. And then my grandson just closed Clark Elementary. And when they moved it downtown from out here by the high school. So my grandson, Zachary, I think he was in fifth grade. That's when they closed Clark. So we all had history at Clark Elementary. And the schools were small. Everybody in Issaquah from Renton to Preston to Pine Lake all went to one school. So you knew everybody. There were only 150 in my graduating class. Yeah, in those days, it was just a small school. Went to Issaquah High School. I was the last class to graduate from the high school that's on the hillside where they now have Julius Boehm's pool. Because I graduated in '62 and they built the new school out on 2nd Avenue, which has now been rebuilt, but they built it and so the next class to was '63, went to that school. So our fight song is still in Issaquah. I think it's Issaquah High School on a hilltop. Yes, you bet we're here. And we got our team here with us. Nothing we will fear. Rah, rah, rah.
And we started Voz de la Comunidad, Voice of the Community, which was a bilingual magazine with information about the schools. Actually, what we wanted to do, it was translate calendars from the school so parents could feel that they could go to these events. That was our first thought. We came to actually the first place we went was the Chamber of Commerce. Then we went to the school district and the school district was like, yeah, this is awesome, yes, but we might not be able to help you. Then we reach out to the Issaquah Schools Foundation and that's when they support us. So the first year that we did this project, it was basically run as a volunteer and we translate every single thing and the printing was done by the foundation. After the first year, we noticed that it wasn't only the Spanish-speaking families who needed the help. You know, anybody needs the help. There are more languages spoken in our district, and we all need that connection. That's we need to feel that we belong.
Once in a while, you have to step up. And I remembered what I'd learned in Peace Corps. The first year I just worked on one of the ads for with signatures for the ad campaign. The next year, the lady who'd been doing it got elected to the school board, Karen Taylor Sherman. And here was an opening. They had nobody to do their PR. And it got to the point finally where there was nobody to do their PR, but I knew that if we didn't start doing the publishing, we weren't going to have anything to put in the mail because of the deadlines, because I knew what those were. And I knew that we needed to have the ads done by then for the paper, or there weren't going to be any. So I finally said, all right, I'll do it. But all I knew how to do was that one ad. But I knew, and I said, but you've got to find me a co-chairman. Well, then I went home and got somebody that I knew had been a publicity. That was Jean Serrar. She had done PR for First National Bank, for First Seafirst until she left to have her kids. And she was currently doing PR free for Campfire. And she was their PR person. And so I called her. She had no idea what I was going to ask her. And I said, I need PR. And she said, well, Mary, I was planning to volunteer and I guess you've got me, but you're going to owe me. And when she said, well, you're going to owe me and now you have to pay up, was when she joined your board. And that she said, you've owed me for a long time. And I said, yes, I have. So I'll do it. And I did.
She published in writing to the family a decree about how she wanted her death to be celebrated. She said, "Not after I die. Let's celebrate." They're not let's. She said, "We will celebrate my death before I die, and I want to be a part of that celebration." So the family heard that and understood it, and they didn't go around weeping. They joyfully spent time with her and enjoyed the value of spending that time with her, and it was because they were all right here.
Mm-hmm.
It just was so great. They just spent so much more time with her than they would have if they hadn't known and hadn't had that decree about what she wanted. So it was really all immediate family. Only about 11 or 12 people.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went there, and her request was to spread her ashes around the home site, and then she requested that we spread her ashes, and then that we each, and forgive me, but we each spread. That was the only time there was any weeping, and I'm just recalling of it as making weeping. But she then, after spreading her ashes, she wanted us each to say goodbye.
I said, yo, I gotta fight in Issaquah. You know, I've been fighting all over, but I wanna fight in Issaquah. I don't mind going to Tacoma Dome and, you know, wherever you wanna take me, but I gotta give my fans something to be excited about. So they didn't have no fight activity in Issaquah at the time. So they said, okay, I'm gonna make it possible. He came to me and said, I gotta fight. We fighting for the title. So I kind of promised my my fans that it's gonna be an electrifying fight, and it's gonna be fireworks. Guess what? It's gonna be fireworks, and I guarantee you, I'm coming up on top. So when we got in the fight, you know, he was war from the get-go. You know, he didn't want to buck up. I didn't want to buck up. One of us had to be carried by a stretcher, so he did. So I came out victorious. So to me, I won a lot of big fights in my career. That one there was a highlight of my career because that was the dream that I always wanted. You know, I gave my fans what I wanted to give them, and they were happy.
Through the newspaper, as well as my own caring in my own community that I've been involved with. But the newspaper's given me a voice. I used to say, not only was I involved, I had a couple thousand barrels of ink behind me and a distribution system. So I could make a difference.
I do coach high school wrestling, and I use that because I am a Black male. There wasn't a lot of contact with people of color that has power. So I really do use that to my advantage, and I try to put myself out there as a Black male. Each year, at the end of the year, I usually give a little 3-minute speech for our banquet. You might remember the time where I think it was Rainier Beach and Issaquah had a scuffle between the two teams about the racial. My whole talk was about, are you that guy who doesn't do anything or who said something, ending with the point that I am your coach, I am a male, I am a Black man in your life. And I'm hoping that because I do something like that, that maybe years later, 10 years, whatever, that these kids are in a college dorm and someone says something stupid about race and they're able to stand up and say, wait a minute.
When I moved here, Issaquah was a small town, and it had that small town feel. We now have 2 urban villages where a lot of the growth was accommodated, but for that growth, we became a regional center with Costco's international headquarters and the warehouse, and many of the businesses that are located here unfortunately have replaced many of the smaller bookstores, and so it has changed significantly. And Issaquah is respected regionally. It's one of the things that for me being on the city council and, for 4 terms, to watch our reputation grow in East King County and the role that we play, not only in the community, but in the region.
I'd love to see more diversity. I would love to see my grandchild go to a high school where he felt totally welcome, where the teachers were welcoming him. He's going to be bringing both his white background, because he's mixed, and his African-American background with him. I really hope that my daughter and son-in-law will not have to have the conversation with him about driving like we had to have with our son, because to me, that's a real indicator of what has changed. I am an American citizen just like anybody else. I bring with me a culture that is beautiful, that is connected to family and fun and great food and, all kinds of great things. And so I would love it if white people could understand that there's nothing threatening about this. There's nothing threatening about more people that bring with them their culture. That is beautiful.
The future looks bright, let's say. And for me, there are a couple of reasons why I would say that. And maybe the pandemic, to what we had said earlier, will help us get there faster than we would have. I think we would have gotten there anyway. But somewhere around 2008, 2009, we were called the best burb by Sunset Magazine or something. Remember that? And the best suburb, I don't want to be the best suburb. I want to be the best city. I wanted to be the best thing, not the best thing outside something else. That was just saying that we were the best thing outside Seattle. God, that's like a consolation prize. I don't even get a banner on here. Just I hated the whole idea of being the best thing outside Seattle. And I want to be the best thing.